Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
You tuned into the Millennial Investor Show with Wandile Ngobese and Buitumelo Panyatang.
Good afternoon, Brand Live listeners. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday afternoon. So today we have a special guest again. His name is Richard Magwaza. He's an entrepreneur, and we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship with him. So thank you so much for joining us, Richard.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. So let's get started. Let's get to business, as they say. So can you just please provide us a bit of background on how CN started, and just please provide our listeners with a bit of more information and clarity on what the business is about.
All right. The concept started when I personally experienced some frustration around shopping. I remember when I went to Cape Town for a church event, and I forgot my white pant, which is part of my uniform. And I'm not from Cape Town, I'm from Joburg.
Yeah.
So when I got to realize that I don't have my white pant, I had to drive around looking for a white pant in Cape Town. So it was a frustration process, you know.
I can really imagine.
Yeah, and I ended up not getting it, you know, and it's just one of those experiences that made me realize that if we could literally have an app that basically show you what's going on around you, from every other amenities, whether you're looking for accommodation or you're looking for special lunch, or you know, you just want to know where fun is being had, you know. How about we create an app that basically opens up your world, you know, within your 0 to 50 kilometer radius, and also create an engagement platform where you can follow your specific brands or retailers that you prefer to follow. And, you know, and then we realized that this is an app age. People are getting into apps. All the brands are developing their own apps. But it's not practical for an individual to download all these apps. You can't go to Sandton Shopping Center and download the app from there, and then go to Cresta and go to Morningside and go to, you know, you can't keep downloading different apps.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's the same example for, you can't download a, you know, XYZ clothing store app and then another one. So what we've done is consolidated all these apps. So instead of having 5 mall apps on your phone, you can have one app with all the malls. And instead of having all the, you know, service providers app, you can have one app with all the service providers. So the approach is user-centric. We wanted to develop a user-based app that basically allows the users to engage directly with their brands. So with the app, basically, you are able to then follow specific brands and receive content in real time from those brands.
So, like, I'd like to talk about some of the features of your app, right? You have a feature that says, that looks at the business intelligence report. Can we just unpack that a bit? What happens?
Okay, so from the client point of view, meaning the retailer or service provider, at this point, you've got a situation where they mostly employ traditional marketing as well as social media marketing. And I mean traditional, I'm talking about, you know, the billboard, the flyers that they distribute in the street. They're not able to measure that. And, you know, you want to tell the client that, listen, in terms of reach, if you push basically one push notification, you're able to reach 100,000 people and still be able to see of those 100,000 people how they reacted to your your particular push notification, whether it's a promotion or it's a special or it's a normal deal. So the business intelligence report is basically analyzes the user's behavior, and we basically feed that behavior to the client. And as a user, you get obviously notified that your content is being shared with your brand
Yeah.
that you love. So there's nothing that is not transparent. Everything is clear, and yeah, the business it goes deeper than that. We go to as far as having analyzed your behavior. We are able to then suggest things around what we think you like,
Yeah.
Okay.
and at a specific time. So if you are a 9 to 5 type of person, we know that we're not supposed to disturb you between 9 and 5.
Yeah.
And we start engaging you with your favorite brands right after that peak hour that you're busy with at work.
Yeah.
So is that based on the customer's information? So I have to put in that I work from 9 to 5, or
No, you don't.
but how does that work?
So we analyze your behavior. So if you're at
Okay.
work and you hardly touch your phone,
Oh,
automatically we see that.
You get that data
Ah.
analytics.
Yes, it's
Okay.
that data analysis. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
And since you an entrepreneur yourself and you've built this business by yourself,
Yes.
what would you encourage other entrepreneurs, like what qualities would you encourage other entrepreneurs to start sort of developing for themselves to get into the entrepreneurship space? Because entrepreneurship is basically about self-empowerment. So how do you motivate someone to actually get into the entrepreneurship space?
I think the major fear with everyone is fear. Fear of failure or unknown.
Yeah.
And that's basically the main challenge that you have to deal with.
Yeah.
And the second one is love.
Yeah.
The people you love, they can stand in your way.
Yeah.
If, for instance, you are married and you've got a family to take care of, and you can't now start a new venture that you're passionate about because you've got to earn a salary for them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because for the next 20 years you're going to do what you don't love, and this is obviously going to kill you.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is sacrifice. If you have to sacrifice the first 2, 3 years, 5 years, if it's going to be worth it, you have to do it. And when I go back to fear, nobody knows everything.
Yeah.
So you might have an idea, or you want to operate in a space where it's already established. Maybe, for instance, you want to open a law firm.
Yeah.
It's competitive. If you start, the first day you start, that's the first day you make progress, because each day you move forward on your business, you learn something, and the more you fail, the more you learn.
Yeah.
And the only time you fail is when you quit.
Yeah.
If you don't quit, you're gonna make it. So it's I can't tell you that there's a blueprint to success as an entrepreneur, because everybody else has their own challenges, and we all come from different type of families and walk of life.
Yeah.
So some people want to just make 1 million, some want to make 1 billion. So as an entrepreneur, and you go through these things, and you realize that maybe. Yeah, if you knew that this was going to take this long, you wouldn't even start it in the first place. You know? And yeah, it's one of those things that you can only find out once you're in a game. You've got to get in the game, play, learn from your experiences, and keep growing. So yes, I think the main thing is fear. People should get rid of their fears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting that you mentioned that, because some entrepreneurs obviously once they start an idea or start a concept, maybe there's some of the problems they encounter is funding. But that's probably the least of any entrepreneur's worry. I think any entrepreneur's worry is to tell someone your idea and someone say it's not going to work. So you have to be crazy. You have to be that crazy as an entrepreneur to obviously get through that point. What pushed you through that aspect to say, you know what, I see this working and I'm going to stick to it?
Well, I did my industry analysis and market analysis.
Yeah.
I think for me, the app business is quite obvious that it's the future.
Yeah.
However, there's obviously a lot of apps being developed each day and released each day, and the success of those apps are very, very minimal.
Yeah.
What pushed me personally was, the self-belief and my faith in God. Having this opportunity to analyze the market at the time when I started analyzing it, it made sense. For instance, we did the WhatsApp app before WhatsApp was there,
Yeah.
but we were in a wrong environment. You
Yeah.
know, people were telling us, why would somebody stop calling with an MTN line and start calling with your app?
Yeah.
And you know, even some of these people who said that to us were CEOs of these big companies.
Yeah.
And I promise you right now, these people are using WhatsApp
Yeah.
and they're calling it WhatsApp.
Yeah.
So it's one of those experiences where I have to learn and, you know, check it as it is.
Yeah.
And now we have CN that we are talking about. I'm still getting, you know, those type of people that says, yeah, but, you know, Woolworth have their own app. Why would I want to have your app? Or why would Woolworth want to be part of your app?
Yeah.
You know, and they don't really see the whole vision because they're not part of it.
Yeah.
You know, they just know what they know, and some they think they know everything. And you just gotta listen to those people and say, okay, cool, move on to the next one, you know, until you make it.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point.
I actually like what you say. I guess you just have to believe in your idea and then just make sure that you see it through. Yeah. Well, my next question is this digital marketing space, right? It has evolved so much in the past 5 years. So where do you see it going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, money is becoming paperless. E-commerce is taking over our everyday life in terms of daily consumable stuff, or even product like phones and stuff. And you know, your phone is now basically your main hub for whatever you're looking for. Whether you're looking for entertainment, whether you're looking for accommodation, your phone is the main place to be in now.
Yeah.
And it's personal. So the app business is literally going to create an environment where you won't have to go to the store at some point to buy something, you know, even clothing. I mean, it's already happening, but I met one of the guys who are key directors in the UK for some clothing line. They told me all they're going to do is create a show house. It's basically where they will show off what they are selling.
Yeah.
There won't be any stock in the store. That way they'll be saving time and money,
And logistics,
you know,
yeah.
in terms of rentals and stuff.
Yeah.
So as a result, you walk in and say, well, I want this jacket, and you know, you fit whatever is there, and boom, the jacket will be delivered to your house. I think that's where we are going with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how big is your footprint in Africa? I mean, internationally on a global space, because now let's say I've got the app and I'm in Dubai. I've got the app and I'm in the USA. I've got the app and I'm in the UK. Does the app is the app convenient in an international space? Because I'm assuming some of your customers, or majority of your customers, travel a lot, and they like to have that convenience with them
Yeah.
throughout the trip.
I think you have to realize we are a startup. You know, we just recently started this year. I mean, it's been a year ever since we started developing this, and we are only going live now.
Yeah.
So we do have a license program with international partners. In the US, we've got 2 companies that we're working with.
Yeah.
So when we launch in South Africa, they'll also be launching in the US. So
Yeah.
that will be in New York as well as Los Angeles. And UK also, we've got a partner. Russia, we've got a partner. And so what we're trying to do is position ourselves as a media house, whereby we give other companies or agencies an opportunity to make money with us. So what I'm basically saying is we're going to be licensing our app globally.
Yeah.
As much as, we'll have a head office in South Africa,
Yeah.
but there will be an office representative in these other countries. So, I mean, right now we've got an office being opened in Nigeria and Ghana.
Yeah.
And another office through our partner with A Cycle Media in the US.
Yeah.
And Los Angeles downtown.
Yeah.
But now we are at the stage where we are doing evaluation of the business before launch.
Yeah.
So what that means is that before we launch, we need to, say how much is our company worth, and what is the license actually worth before we even go live, so that when we are out there we can be as efficient as possible and we can spread our wings as fast as possible. So we want to start the process once we are live. So we are finishing that licensing program process right now. So that's right there.
Okay, we're just going to take a quick ad break and we'll be back in a few minutes.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
Brand Live.
No doubt.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za, an industry first in the world of internet radio. Not only are we an internet radio station, we are an internet radio platform for your brand. So why not expose your brand to potentially thousands of listeners and improve your customer relationships and brand equity with podcasts and live broadcasts? Be sure to check brandlive.co.za for more information. brandlive.co.za, harnessing the power of internet radio.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
brandlive.co.za.
Lunatic, 'cause I do what I want, and I get what I want when I want it.
You know life can be so ordinary. Boy meets girl, they settle, make a baby.
brandlive.co.za.
The Dramatic Talk with myself, Bongani Drama. Bringing you insightful conversations on the Convo Corner, your latest celebrity news on Dramatainment, and your latest fashion news on Fashion Fade.
This is Bongani.
And myself, Rose Rataka, bringing you your latest news and sports updates.
Every Wednesdays, 2 to 3 p.m. Only on www.brandlive.co.za.
May I have your attention, please? The witty chatterbots join myself, Carmen Murray, and my double trouble, Jessica McIndoe, with our big personalities, and we will present you with an insightful yet fun show. We will feature interviews with industry heavyweights and unpack everything from new technologies, marketing trends, and case studies to empower you to be ahead of the curve.
Brand Live.
Join us on this exciting journey every Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock and start a conversation on hashtag Witty Show. Hashtag WITEE Show. Thank you.
Welcome back to the
You're
Millienial
listening to
Investor
Brand
Show.
Live.
You are tuned into. We are currently in studio with Richard Magwaza. Is it the CEO of
Scene.
Scene? So businesses have to pay a monthly fee to be a part of this, right?
Yeah.
So what about me, the end consumer? I just download it and that's it.
Free
of charge.
Free.
Just data.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what has been your biggest challenge with managing a purely digital sort of business? Because I can imagine you probably looking for talent for programmers to obviously work in that sort of environment. Because if you look at, for example, Jeff Bezos' leadership style when it comes to business, he makes sure he gets the best. Because when it comes to digital, it sort of removes that customer business relationship, and so you'd have to have the best people working to provide your customers with the best product. So, what has been the most challenging thing for you?
I think the main thing is skills.
Yeah.
A shortage of skills. And those who have skills are working for big corporations already.
Yeah.
So now you've got to take a guy who's earning 100,000 from 100,000 job to a startup. And when you don't have funding for that, it's the problem. So I ended up settling with my team.
Yeah.
They are my partners, computer scientists.
Yeah.
And, you know, it made my life easy because now we all own the business. And, you know, the passion behind it, you know, it surpasses whatever challenge we encounter as far as development or technical or whatever the case may be at the time.
Yeah.
So another problem is, or a challenge, is educating the market, you know, educating the client. You know, we live in a country where we are mostly consumers. You know, we just want to use stuff. Like, for instance, you know, Uber, we just want to use it.
Yeah.
You know, WhatsApp, we just want to use it. You don't want to know where it's coming from, how it's made.
Yeah.
And, you know, because of that and also the fact that we are a third world country, we, you know, most likely buy from outside more than what we buy from inside. It's a serious problem that we have in the country.
Yeah.
Because for me to make it big, I needed to have, you know, this international footprint.
Yeah.
So that a bigger blue chip client can look at me and say, wow, you have something real here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have to go in as an enterprise development, you know, company, which is not good for business at all.
Yeah.
So that's now political.
Yeah.
And over and above just politics, and the reality is that, you know, when you're developing a virtual product, you hardly find people that will invest in something they can't see. It's a virtual product, you know. It's not like, you know, building a container and saying, look, there's a product here. You know, so there's that element of education that is missing also, you know, like I said, people just consume in the country. They don't want to know what is happening in Silicon Valley. You know, and unfortunately, because of our mentality, or because of us being more of an industrial country, we believe in traditional businesses. I want to invest in mining, for instance. That's what they want to say. You know, they want to invest in property because it's things that they can see. So the challenge is that, you know, a lot of guys that have money, they're just comfortable where they are in the industry that they are in. So when you're trying to bring a guy that is into construction, into IT, he's in, but he's not really in because he doesn't understand what you're doing. You know, so instead of giving you 5 million as an agreement that you have, he will give you 5,000 and say, let's see what you can do, you know? And then maybe with that 5,000, you try and, you know, maybe set up a website. And you give you another 100,000 and say, well, make it happen. And they don't really realize that these apps cost millions to actually develop them. They cost a lot of money. You can develop it for, you know, 30,000, depending on the size of the app and the complexity of the app. But the fact remains that, you know, you've got a few access to venture capitalists, and when you go there, they expect this wow business plan. So if you don't have that skill of writing a beautiful business plan, then you don't get their attention. The front desk person will tell you that's not going to work because they simply don't understand what you're talking about. You know, until you get, you know, one of the best guys to write you a proper business plan, that costs money. You know, so access to information as an entrepreneur is a key thing. You know, and it's a problem because people don't really know where to get the right information to get the right business plan. They don't know that government is actually paying for this business plan. Or maybe even when they apply for the fund for a business plan, they don't do it the right way, and there's no one to guide them to actually get them assisted with the program. So those are the challenges. It's part of you know, I don't know how to say it. It's our reality in South Africa as Black South African.
As a last question, I'd like to know how big is the market space? How big is the market share in terms of being in the online services environment?
Yeah, that's too big, eh?
Is it?
It depends where you're operating. I mean, if you're operating in South Africa, you're working with a country with 50 million people, 55 million people. You have to now analyze how many people have phones and how many people are mostly online. But I mean, if you're talking about international market, it's It's very amazing. It's too big. You can't quantify it. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Richard. That's all we have for today. To our listeners, thank you for joining us again. Please join us again next week, same time and same place, hopefully.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
You're listening to brandlive.co.za.